You're talking about the Cultural Olympiad meaning for the Olympics.
What kind of work would you take if you could have a perfect job tomorrow?
Perfect job?
Yeah, I mean, what's your interest? What do you want to do?
I get paid to do what I do. No, in a perfect world, I would be a ball player, play baseball professionally. So,
Or an arts critic.
well, that would involve like sitting down and typing and all the stuff I watch, but that would still be pretty. A lot of work. Yeah, I get paid to go to shows. That would be a pretty good job.
See, we're sitting here, Chris, in North Vancouver, but then I talked about the alternative schools. They all hang out a lot at the Vancouver East Cultural Center,
Right.
there. And
Well,
I think that's
around East Vancouver in general, but the three of us have been involved in the Vancouver East Cultural Center.
and then student.
Well, East Vancouver's changed a lot over the last 20 years. It's amazing.
Oh,
it's,
yes.
It's a pretty eclectic, artsy sort of a community now, right? Where I mean, at one time it was new immigrants, and then it became kind of a poor neighborhood, and now it's become kind of gentrified, and you've got all these arts things going on, and it's interesting, yeah.
Well, Commercial Drive is a place unto itself. We haven't had a single tax question. I don't really feel like doing tax questions tonight.
Well, we're talking about tax. We're just not talking about
We're not
cross-border
having to do
tax.
tax
Hooterville
questions.
Mike has brought up a thing here. Tax shift divided by population equals $463 per person. So a community with a population of about 10,000, how is it going to exist when $3 million is extra is taken out of its economy?
It's a very good point. I mean, we've used that number many times. There's
Okay.
4 some million people in BC.
Yep.
The HST is going to raise an extra 1.9 or $2 billion per year. So roughly, in round numbers, it's $500 a person,
Yeah.
every man, woman,
Yep.
and child. Some will pay more, some will pay less, depending on what rebates you get and so forth. But the reality is, the average family is going to pay about $2,000, $2,500, and that's just an average working class family. And you get guys like yourself and myself who own businesses and things, and you're dealing with a lot more. Myself personally, just on a personal level, I'll be paying $1,365 more per year in PST, right? And so then you take my wife and you add my kids in there, I'm probably about $4,000 hit for our family.
And you don't have the input tax credits to offset that?
Well, I've got some on the business side, but
Yeah.
they won't offset what
They
that
won't
is.
offset that,
And I've
yeah.
said to people before anyway, even if they do, so what?
Yeah.
I've got to live in the community with everybody else too. If they're all unemployed and they're all standing there going, I can't work, what good is it if I've net $1,000 more?
Yep.
Yeah.
You know, we've all got to live with each other, so.
We gotta live with each other and figure out how to make life go.
Yeah.
That's what the side's about.
Well, it was great once again, David.
All right. I can't think of anything else I want to talk about.
I can't at this point either. So
Okay,
I think
so-
we'll call it a wrap.
Are we going to call it a wrap and go down to?
Are we winging
Are
it
we
tonight?
going to wing it tonight?
Yeah. Anybody on
We
the
got a
North
whole
Shore
bunch
going to
of-
meet us down at the
Does
Eagles?
everybody want to? If you guys all want to go for chicken wings tonight, look at the smile. Look at the smile. on your
Hell
face.
yes.
The Eagles down here has 2 dozen chicken wings for $12.99.
Well, maybe I'll come along with you.
can
They're
come
They're
along
about
with
50
us.
cents each, and then with tax and
Yeah.
tip, they're about
Yeah, 60 cents.
more.
And they're
Sounds
good wings.
good.
They're good wings.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Okay, you've been watching Around the World with David Ingram, Richard Pitt, and
Chris
Chris
Delaney.
Delaney here tonight, and I hope you've enjoyed if you've been watching. And of course, you can watch this on
The archives
the
from
archives. Will be up about tomorrow afternoon.
well,
type
the
of thing.
archives on UStream are there now. As soon as we finish recording here, they'll be up,
Okay.
and we'll have them up in the david-ingram.com tomorrow.
And what about YouTube?
They'll be on. That's putting them up on YouTube. It
All right.
takes me about a day because it takes almost 3 hours exactly to render and another 3 hours to upload. So there's 6 hours just
All right.
elapsed time.
So, if you've got a friend that you think might have got something out of this, tell them to take a look at it. It's in archives. You can see it in 2 different places. And thanks, Chris Delaney. And we're going to take a couple of minutes now. Mitchell, you're going to phone down to the Eagles and put our order in.
Always, it's 25 minutes to get down there.
Well, but we're going to spend a couple
Oh,
minutes
yes,
showing
okay, right,
Chris
yep.
how to get
So-
in as a co-host. So
Kill the feed
kill the feed, and we'll talk to Chris separately. Okay.
Are we off camera?
No, we're not off
Okay,
camera yet.
yeah.
No.
I'm just off mic, so
Yeah.
you don't hear me.
So we don't have. We're saying goodbye. We're doing this in
Still talking.
the home
Yeah, we're still
studio.
talking.
We're having fun, and
I will.
Mitchell's going to turn off some buttons, and there we go.
Turn off the mics and